What's going on, guys? Winner Kills here. We are back with another post-commentary duel video. We got True-Draco versus Invoked Mekk-Knight. I think he's going to go ahead and get started first on the True-Draco side. And we'll see diagrammed being used to destroy Masterpiece. And then we'll see a Potted Duality follow up that play. Potted Duality, revealing Potted Duality, unlucky. But he's going to add Ignis Heat off that, I do believe. And then we're going to see a Pot of Desires come down. Of course, banishing 10 and then drawing 2. I do apologize. I want to say real quick, I apologize for the lack of uploads the past 2 days. I'm just having some technical issues getting the videos that I record on my phone onto my computer to edit. I'm having some issue I've never had before, and it's just frustrating. But standby phase for the Invoked Mekk-Knight player. We'll see. Being met immediately with 2 floodgates, Mistake and Anti-Spell Fragrance. Mistake, an interesting main deck choice, I would say. We'll see Return of the True King here in the end phase, being used to destroy the Mistake, tributing that away to summon out Ignis, and then using the revive effect of Return of the True King to bring back Masterpiece in defense position. So it seems that my friend Adam here has used a lot of the good floodgates in the game that counter a lot of the current best decks. You know, using them as just tribute fodder. You flip them up to stop your opponent and then tribute them away when you don't need them, just like you did there for that Ignis. We'll see him switch Ignis and, or not Ignis, but switch Masterpiece to attack. That is only going to boost up Ignis, though, because it is the only one on the field that has been tribute summoned. I believe that's how diagram works, unless it doesn't have that restriction. Yeah, we'll see. After being set, of course, the terraforming now being activated, although it won't go unnoticed by that Ignis getting that search off. And then he will set a field spell. It's going to be Meltdown, of course. Then flipping face up that Spellbook of Secrets to add Spellbook of Knowledge. And so it's always a throwback to see Spellbook of Secrets. Every time I see it, it's always such a joy. It just takes me back to a simpler time when I played Spellbooks. I remember one of the Spellbook deck profiles I did in this channel was like one of the most popular videos I've ever had on this entire channel, which is insane. And then we'll see Gameciel getting rid of the Masterpiece, only to be brought back again by the Return of the True King. An Invocation now going off for Cositus, banishing 1 water monster. I think that might have been Blue Boy. And then getting a search off of that Alistair. Basically just going into turtle mode, but the Stormforth is basically going to seal the deal for game 1 there. Going into the next game. Game 2 starting off still a little bit rough for him. Ash Blossom meeting that Alistair, so no search for him there. But we will see a Spellbook of Secrets come down, and I can only imagine that's going to grab Spellbook of Knowledge. And then Knowledge is going to get activated to tribute away that Alistair. Draw 2 cards. See if you can get something going here. 1 Ash Blossom. Shouldn't be too bad, you know. No other hand traps, but setting 2 and passing. Not the most optimal turn. And then setting 3 and passing. Okay. Just back row wars today right now, I guess. Anti-Spell, though. Getting destroyed by that Unending Nightmare. Pretty good sideboard card to have in. I think that is Indigo Eclipse hitting the board, along with Purple Nightfall. Skill Drain, though, getting destroyed by the Unending Nightmare. And then Purple Nightfall banishing itself to get that Blue Sky out on the board. Unending Nightmare being very clutch right now. I think, no, adding that Indigo, or not, adding that Blue Sky to hand, not summoning it to the board. I'm still very unfamiliar with Mekk-Knights. Very, very cool archetype, though. I really like the summoning mechanic, and the artwork on them is very cool, as well as their names. I think they're very nice. And then we're going to see Blue Sky hit the board, and then he is going to add Red Moon to hand, but I don't think he actually wanted to summon it. That's why he put it back in his hand. He was going to summon it, I believe, but decided not to. Just some take back of place. I actually had to go back and like watch the video, the real video with the audio, just so like I had to make sense of what was happening. So right there, instead of activating Invocation first, he decides to use Knowledge first to tribute to draw 2, and then tribute the Red Moon, I believe, or the Ash Blossom from his other graveyard, and get out that Invoked Fusion. But that will end game 2 regardless. So much damage on the board. They're going to go into game 3. And True-Draco will be going first here. And then we'll see a Majesty Maiden on the board with the True-Draco Heritage. And then on the activation of Meltdown, we'll see Majesty Maiden getting its effect off, adding Ignis Heat to hand. And then Alistair hitting the board soon after that, adding Invocation from deck to hand. Usual Invoked plays here. Pretty standard. Setting 1 down and then summoning, looks like Purple Nightfall. And then summoning out the Blue Sky. Blue Sky going to search here. I believe it can add up to 2. The current situation. Or only 1 maybe. And it's going to add Indigo Eclipse to hand. And then going to special summon that in that other column. Of course, 2 other cards lining up in the column. Flipping up that Spellbook of Secrets for Spellbook of Knowledge. Probably going to tribute away that Alistair for 2 draws. See the engines working very well together here. Pretty much what this deck wants to do. Get all of its engines running simultaneously. You know, drawing 2 cards. Is it enough? No, why not? Why not banish 10 and draw 2 more? All of the card advantage here for the Invoked Mekk-Knight player. Setting 2 back row. We know he did side in the Unending Nightmares. Perhaps those stayed in. He did have to go second this time, though. Don't know how much of a big impact that'll play on that. But maybe just a little bit. Siding in traps. You know, going second. Not the best idea. Not always most optimal, but sometimes you got to do what you have to. And he's going to use, of course, Mekaba here. Going into Mekaba. And all he's got to worry about is Majesty Maiden. Not too big of a threat. No revival of the True King on his field. So he can pretty much just swing in with plenty of damage. And now the True-Draco player does have to worry about, at this point, of course, any back row lingering there. And that Mekaba being able to negate anything. But there's Inspector Border. That card is quite the card, I will say that. It's like just a skill drain for like a lot of things. Ignis Heat coming down, tributing the Heritage, and then hitting a set Unending Nightmare. The Spiritual Sword's being flipped up, though. Interesting to see that. Not really expected. But he will pay the 1,000. Presumably to negate the attack. But that Inspector Border, kind of rough. Seeing a Purple Nightfall hit the board. Another Meltdown being activated, getting Alistair. And perhaps not summoning Alistair. Because I don't think with, you know, Inspector Border, I don't know if he can actually get the effect off of Alistair. Just curious. Neither player can activate a monster effect unless the number of monster effects that player has previously activated that turn is less than the number of monster card types currently on the field. Ritual Fusion, Synchro Xyz Pendulum Link. Yeah, that's a very confusing wording. But either way, the Inspector Border is not going to be enough to stop the sheer damage. It did stop, you know, some searches, but not enough overall to prevent from all that damage being put out so quickly by the Mekk-Knight engine. I mean, Red Moon at 2,300, Indigo Eclipse 24, Purple Nightfall at 25, and then, you know, Mekk-Knight, not too, Blue Sky not too high in attack, only 2,000, but it adds up, of course, you know. Every little bit counts when you only got 8,000 life points. So that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. and please express so by leaving a like if you did. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Winner Kills signing out. We'll see ya in the next one.